Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning into the Mixed Section Reports. I want to talk about this article I found from Blaze Media. Guaranteed income programs spreading across the U.S. All right, let's check this out. Guaranteed income has long been proposed as a solution for Americans' financial woes. The idea has increasingly been placed into practice. Guaranteed income programs have been started in 48 cities nationwide since 2020, according to the Mayors for Guaranteed Income, a network supporting such programs. Funding for guaranteed income programs has come from both taxpayer support and private contributions. In 2020, Jack Dorsey, the former chief executive of Twitter, donated $15 million to MGI. The New York Times reported that California has become the epicenter of the movement. I'm not surprised there. Seems like everything that has to do with liberalism or far left ideas come from California or start there. In Los Angeles, the Guaranteed Income Program, primarily taxpayer funded, benefits 3,200 people who have at least one child and an annual income below the federal poverty line. In Oakland, California, a privately funded organization pledged to give 600 low income families $500 for 18 months. In San Diego, a nonprofit group will give certain families with young children $500 a month for 2 years. We need to provide resources to families that are struggling. It can give them breathing room to realize goals that many of us are fortunate enough to take for granted. Far left Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti said when he announced the launch of the city's program. Last year, according to the New York Times, California set aside $35 million for 5 years for other cities to carry out their own pilot programs. Interesting. Cities from Atlanta to Minneapolis to Denver have also tested some form of guaranteed income. All of these are very liberal cities. Support for some guaranteed income, universal basic income, has come across the political spectrum. So there have been books written about this, from proposing $12,000 to $13,000 a year annually. But then there are also opponents against this, opponents for this type of things. Opponents of guaranteed income programs argue that they are unsustainable and counterproductive. Owen Cass, executive director of American Compass, a conservative think tank, said that the problems with such program is that a permanent and society-wide system to provide everyone will destroy fundamental elements of the social contract and create the wrong incentives for people as they make choices about their life's course. Absolutely. Let's continue. So this Mayors for a Guaranteed Income is a real thing. This is the website here. Mayors for a Guaranteed Income is a network of mayors advocating for a guaranteed income to ensure that all Americans have an income floor. So this is from Town Hall. When will low-income Americans stop looking to government? So I read this article a bit last night, and it's talking about some of the data that was from these polls. Gallup poll: 56% of Americans now say that rising prices are causing severe or moderate hardship, and it's mostly in the low-income spectrum. Households with less than $48,000 a year, 74% are experiencing hardship. Middle-income households, 48,000 to 89,000, 63% are experiencing hardship, and upper income, it's about 90,000 and above, 40% of people are experiencing hardship, or households, I should say. So I'm going to come down a little bit on this article here and get to what the real point of this is. It says the dream is being shattered. It is being shattered by government and politicians, Democrats who now control our government, who pretend to be concerned about the same low-income Americans. More and more government spending, more government sucking the oxygen out of our economy by pulling resources away from the private sector and redirecting it toward political control, supposedly to help the have-nots, just destroyed opportunity for everyone. In the Gallup poll reporting in a survey done by my organization, CURE, 70% of blacks feel the country is divided into two haves and have-nots. 57% of blacks feel they are among the have-nots. The challenge of all those who see the whole nation sinking under the weight of misguided government, and I certainly am talking about Republicans, is to reach our black citizens and get them to believe the path to opportunity, the path to become a have, is a free economy. Absolutely. If our black citizens and all Americans feel the country is unfair and realize that freedom and not government is the path to wealth creation, we can turn a sinking ship around. Yes, I agree 100%. So, my analysis on this is a strong, robust economy is the best form of welfare. When you have a strong economy, it creates opportunity. Now, check this out. So, I was in a rough position a while back. Almost got evicted. This is about 10 years ago. I was in a tough position. Couldn't pay my electric bill. My lights actually got shut off. I had to shut off my cable. It was a tough time. I went through a very rough period, and it was up to me to pull up my bootstraps and get to work. I got two jobs. I was unemployed at the time. Something happened that was unfortunate, and everything is like a domino effect. So I was broke. I was in line. I went to churches to get that were giving out food to people. I had bananas, bread, different types of vegetables and things like that. I had to wait and sit there inside of a church and wait, so I was called up to get my box of food. That's how low I got. I got on food stamps for 6 months. I went to a church to help get rental assistance, and it was a tough time. But I pulled myself out. I worked two jobs. Eventually, I got two jobs. Worked 7 days a week. Busted my tail to pay back the rent that I owed. Get my lights. I owed about $200 in electric payments. Got my cable back on. It was probably the most difficult period of my entire life financially. But I made it happen because there's opportunity here in Texas and here in America to pour yourself out from the trenches. So these states that are looking, in these cities that are looking to do this universal basic income, this is the wrong way to go. States need to look at, specifically liberal states, need to cut taxes and make more incentives for businesses to hire people. These states and cities need to attract businesses to come there and create jobs. And nothing, instead of giving money to cities for basic income, they need to put that money into cleaning up the streets. Put down the law, lay down the law and order, make the city safe, make the city clean, make the city workable. Places like LA or, Oakland, where crime is sky high, even New York City, people are scared to go to work in some of these cities. They don't want to go out at night or, places, things like that. Some businesses are shutting down in downtown areas because people are afraid to go to work and afraid to go to these places. So businesses are shutting down. How about you put that money into fighting crime? Put that money into cutting taxes for your citizens. Get rid of some of these regulations and create opportunity for people. That's how you get people off of government dependency. I feel like like I said, robust economy, lower taxes, work incentives, attracting businesses, creating opportunity is the best way to get people out of these bad situations. Now, here's an unpopular opinion. I think people need to stop having so many kids that can't afford it. If you have 6 kids, you make $40,000 a year, you might have to look at yourself in the mirror. I talked about this in a previous video. Stop having kids with guys that are losers, who are deadbeats. If you want to have a family, that's fine, but make sure your financial house is in order. Don't have 4, 5, 6, 7 kids. Maybe have 1 or 2, but make sure you can afford to do so you won't be dependent on the government. Because the government does nothing but create problems for people, as we see. So when you have a free and thriving economy, that is the best form of welfare. A job is the best form of welfare, not a government check. Another thing is you're taking other people's money. You're taking taxpayer money from these business owners. So I just don't like the whole idea of it. So yeah, I think there's a better way to go about getting people above the poverty line. As we saw under Trump, we saw a lot of people come out of the poverty level. We saw black home ownership go up, black unemployment dropped, Hispanic unemployment dropped, because he cut taxes, cut regulations, and let the economy do its thing. That's it. It's simple. It's not hard to do. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to stop the video right there. I just want to talk about this really quick. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Take care.